Welcome to the Deep Dive. Ever wonder how businesses ensure their products actually meet your expectations?
You know that they don't fall apart the moment you get them home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's this fascinating area called quality management. And today we're cracking open the core strategies involved. We've sifted through quite a bit of information on this.
We have. To bring you the crucial insights into, well, the main three. Quality control, quality assurance, and then the big one, total quality management.
Right. And when we even say quality, what are we really talking about?
Yeah, good question. It's really about a product's degree of excellence.
So, like, is it reliable?
Is it reliable? How easy is it to use? How long does it last? Even things like the design.
If it arrives on time?
Definitely. And after-sale service, even just how it looks, it all plays a part.
Okay.
We'll even touch on a real-world example, Tatura Milk Industries. They're a dairy company, and quality is clearly a huge priority for them.
Okay. So the goal today is really to understand how businesses like Tatura Milk manage that quality consistently.
Exactly. Focusing on, minimizing waste and defects, sticking really strictly to standards.
And reducing that variance, that inconsistency in the final product.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's dive right in with the one people probably think of first. Quality control. What's the core idea behind that one?
Quality control, yeah. At its heart, it's about using inspections.
Checkpoints.
Kind of checkpoints, yeah. At various stages in production, specifically to check for problems and defects.
So you try to catch issues.
Catch issues early, exactly. And the main aim is to make sure the business is running efficiently and, well, effectively.
So it's like having, I don't know, detectives looking for errors during production.
That's a good way to put it.
And I guess they're measuring against specific targets, benchmarks and standards.
Precisely. They need something to measure against. So in manufacturing, like at Tatura Milk, this could be really rigorous testing.
In their own labs.
Yeah, often on-site labs, checking for bacteria, contaminants, making sure the taste is consistent from batch to batch.
Okay, that makes sense for milk. What about, say, a service industry, like a bank?
Good example. For a bank, quality control might look different. It could be measuring, say, how quickly they serve a customer or the accuracy of financial transactions, speed and accuracy.
Gotcha. So it's very hands-on. You've got trained people doing these checks.
Yes, qualified professionals.
But the material we looked at mentioned they often use sampling, not checking every single item. Why is that?
Well, logistically, checking every single item can just be massive.
Time-consuming.
Expensive.
Incredibly time-consuming, yes, and expensive. It could actually slow production right down. So sampling gives you a representative view.
A snapshot of the quality.
A good snapshot, exactly, taken at different points.
Yeah.
But, as our sources point out, it's not foolproof.
Right. So even with quality control, a poor quality item could still slip through sometimes.
It's possible, yes. It reduces the risk, but doesn't eliminate it entirely.
Okay. But when it is working well, when a business does quality control effectively, what's the upside? Oh, the impact is direct, especially financially. When products consistently meet or even exceed customer expectations,
Sales go up.
you'll likely see a boost in sales, yeah, and better profitability overall. Plus, finding defects early means less waste.
Less wasted material, less wasted effort.
Exactly. Which improves efficiency. Think about the cost of a recall if something bad does get out there.
Oof, yeah. Not just the money, but the reputation damage.
Huge reputational damage. So good quality control is like an early warning system against that kind of disaster. It's fundamentally reactive, though, catching faults after they're made.
Okay, reactive, that's a key point. So quality control catches issues. Now let's shift to quality assurance. This sounds different. More about prevention.
You've got it. Quality assurance, or QA, is more of a system.
A system.
Yeah, a system designed to give customers confidence, basically. Confidence that the products are fit for purpose.
By setting standards.
By achieving set standards, yes, but crucially throughout the production process, not just checking at the end.
Okay. So that's the proactive part you mentioned.
Exactly. It's about building quality into the system to prevent issues before they happen. It's very process-oriented, establishing good ways of working.
So it's less about inspecting the final thing and more about making sure the process is right at every step.
That's a great way to put it.
And it sounds like maybe it's everyone's job, not just inspectors.
Yes. That's a fundamental shift with QA. It makes quality the responsibility of everyone in the business, not just a specific QC team.
A culture thing.
It fosters a culture where everyone understands their part in maintaining those standards. This often involves things like detailed process checklists,
Right.
regular audits to make sure people are actually following the procedures, and developing clear, documented standards for everything.
And the sources mentioned external organizations auditing businesses.
Mhm.
Why bring outsiders in?
Well, having an independent body check your systems adds a lot of credibility. Trust and validation, yeah. These organizations audit against recognized standards, like national or international ones. It shows you're really meeting those benchmarks.
And Tatura Milk uses ISO 9001. What's ISO? And why is that specific standard important?
ISO is the International Organization for Standardization.
Ah,
And the ISO 9001 series is basically a globally recognized blueprint for a good quality management system. Getting certified isn't mandatory.
but it looks good.
It looks very good. It's a powerful way to show commitment to quality, boosts competitiveness, especially internationally. It signals you follow global best practices.
So ISO gives them the framework, the structure for their QA system.
Exactly. It provides guidelines on the procedures, the controls, the documentation you need.
What kind of things does that cover for Tatura? Is it just the milk production?
Oh, it's much broader. It covers the factory itself, staff training, making sure equipment is calibrated correctly and maintained.
And Gene too, I imagine.
Absolutely. Rigorous hygiene protocols. Even things like workplace health and safety fall under it. It's really holistic, designed to build confidence.
And the benefits for Tatura, or any business doing this, goes beyond just good products again.
Definitely. Like QC, it boosts efficiency, makes you more competitive because you have less waste, fewer faulty products.
Right.
But because QA is proactive, it also really builds customer confidence and loyalty. That often leads directly to more sales and ultimately more profit.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But are there downsides? It sounds pretty involved. Maybe expensive.
It can be. Our sources do point that out. Setting up a robust QA system, especially to meet something like ISO standards, takes investment, both time and money.
Especially for smaller businesses.
Potentially, yes. And there's a big emphasis on documentation, lots of paperwork, which can be time-consuming. And you need real buy-in from everyone. That might mean significant training, changing how people think about their work.
Okay, so QC catches errors. QA prevents them systemically. Now the third one, total quality management. TQM. Yours like everything.
You've nailed it. TQM is described as a business-wide commitment, a deep commitment to excellence in absolutely every part of the operation.
So it's not just a system, it's a whole mindset, a culture shift.
Exactly. It goes beyond specific processes. The key phrase is shared responsibility. Quality isn't just one department's problem anymore.
It's everyone's, from the CEO down.
Everyone, from the top executive to the newest hire. It's a collective commitment.
And the aim isn't just minimizing defects, it's zero defects, while focusing on the customer.
That's the ideal, yes. Striving for a defect-free process and maintaining a relentless customer focus in everything the business does.
Like QA, it sounds proactive too.
Very much so. It's focused on preventing problems, not just reacting.
And the payoff, if a company truly embraces TQM.
The potential rewards are huge. Big cost reductions because you have fewer defects, less waste, better efficiency.
Making them more competitive on price.
Enhanced cost competitiveness, yes. Plus consistently higher product quality, much happier customers.
More loyalty.
Increased customer satisfaction and loyalty, definitely. And ultimately, a really strong, sustainable, competitive advantage.
But I can imagine getting an entire company on board with this. That sounds like a major challenge.
It absolutely is. Implementing TQM is a serious undertaking. Significant investment takes a lot of time.
And people might resist.
You need everyone engaged. And yes, our sources mention potential resistance. People might be used to doing things a certain way. It requires changes in thinking and attitude.
Training needed too?
Lots of training, likely. In customer service, problem solving. It can take a while before you see the full benefits across the whole business.
Okay. The material mentions someone called W. Edwards Deming in the history of TQM.
Ah, yes. Deming. He's widely seen as the founder of the quality movement.
Really? When was this?
Back in the 1950s and 60s, he really pushed for a more holistic, systematic approach to quality.
What did he emphasize?
Things like better product design from the start, continuous improvement in all processes, and using data rigorous testing. And companies like Toyota. They were actually early adopters of Deming's ideas. TQM principles really took root there because of his work.
Wow, Toyota. So TQM kind of builds on QA then, and QC fits in there somewhere too.
Yeah, that's right. Our sources clarify that QA is often a core part of a TQM strategy.
A tool within TQM.
A fundamental component, yes.
Yeah.
And QC activities are often seen as a subset of QA. So TQM is the big philosophy, the culture.
And QA and QC are ways to achieve it.
Exactly. Essential tools and techniques within that broader TQM framework.
Okay. Now, the outline we're following breaks TQM down into 3 key approaches: employee empowerment, continuous improvement, and customer focus. Let's unpack employee empowerment first. What does that mean in practice?
Employee involvement, yeah, it's absolutely central to TQM.
How do you get employees involved?
One common way is using quality circles.
Quality circle.
Yeah, they're usually small teams, maybe up to 10 workers or so. They meet regularly to solve problems. Problems related to their specific work processes or product design or just general quality issues they see.
So people on the ground identifying and fixing things.
Exactly. Tapping into their firsthand knowledge.
What's the typical process for a quality circle? How do they work?
Typically, they'll start by gathering data about a problem.
Looking at the evidence.
Analyzing the data to find the root cause. Then they brainstorm potential solutions.
Um,
They usually develop a proposal, like a recommended fix, and present it to management.
so management has to listen.
The idea is that management seriously considers these solutions coming from the front lines.
The material had some pretty striking examples of what these circles can achieve.
Yeah, some really impressive ones, like Northrop Aircraft, the division-making parts for the Boeing 747.
What do they do?
Their quality circles managed to cut the cost of parts in half.
50%.
Wow,
Yeah.
in just 2 years. Another one was Chrysler. A quality circle found that just heating rubber seals before installing them stopped car doors from leaking.
A simple fix with a big impact.
A simple but effective discovery. And closer to home, Australian Aero, they make automotive parts. They use quality circles a lot for problem solving in design and manufacturing.
Those are great examples. Okay, second TQM approach. Continuous improvement. That sounds relentless.
It kind of is. Continuous improvement is this ongoing, unwavering commitment to always be evaluating and, well, improving
Everything.
all aspects of the business. It means constantly setting the bar higher, striving for better outcomes.
Isn't there a Japanese term for this?
Yes, Kaizen. It literally means improvement or change for the better.
Ah.
It really captures that idea of making small, incremental improvements everywhere, all the time.
So it's not always about huge changes, but lots of small steps.
Mm-hmm.
A culture of always looking for ways to make things better.
Precisely. Achieving absolute perfection is probably impossible, right?
Probably.
But the act of striving for it constantly, that becomes a key part of the company culture. It drives innovation, drives efficiency.
And we had an example, Brambles Limited, their CHE business.
Right. Brambles is big in logistics, supply chains. They've really embedded continuous improvement in CHE.
What do they do?
They constantly monitor best practices globally and try to implement them. They work hard to minimize their environmental impact.
And they work with customers too.
Yes, they collaborate closely with customers to find ways to improve performance and efficiency across the whole supply chain they share.
That makes sense. Constantly refining. Okay, the third pillar of TQM, improved customer focus. Seems obvious, but how does TQM emphasize this specifically?
Well, remember, Deming believed quality was everyone's job.
Right.
TQM really runs with that. The fundamental question is always, what does the customer require?
The external customer.
Yes, but also internal customers. This is a key insight. Every team, every person in a business serves a customer.
Even if they never talk to someone buying the product.
Exactly. Maybe you pass your work on to the next team in the process. That team is your internal customer.
Ah, so there's like a chain of customers inside the business.
Precisely. TQM emphasizes this chain of customers. The idea is, if everyone focuses on satisfying their immediate internal customer,
the final external customer will end up satisfied too.
that's the principle. Because ultimately, as the sources say, the customer defines quality. They're the final judge.
So customer focus means delivering what they expect, or maybe even more.
Meeting or exceeding expectations, yes.
And businesses that get this right, like Toyota again.
Absolutely. Toyota's customer first and quality first principles are famous. It shows how that deep commitment leads to high quality product people want, builds loyalty, and drives massive success.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. We've taken this deep dive into the 3 key quality management strategies.
We have quality control, the reactive checks,
Quality assurance, the proactive system building quality in,
and total quality management, that overarching business-wide commitment to excellence.
driven by those 3 things. employee empowerment,
Continuous improvement.
and that relentless customer focus.
That's a great summary. We've seen how QC is mainly about detection, QA about prevention through systems.
And TQM is the whole culture.
Exactly. Each has strengths, weaknesses, different costs, different scopes of impact.
And it seems crystal clear that effective quality management isn't just nice to have, it's essential, right?
Absolutely essential.
Yeah.
For meeting customer expectations, for efficiency, and definitely for getting a competitive edge.
In today's world, you just can't afford not to focus on it.
Indeed. And that brings us to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to maybe mull over.
Okay.
Given how complex products and services are becoming, just think about technology now.
Constantly changing.
How might that balance need to shift in the future? The balance between reactive quality control and those proactive quality assurance systems. How does that need to evolve to keep delivering truly exceptional quality?
That's a really interesting question to end on. How do we stay ahead as things get more complex?